Well, hello friends, welcome back. It's time for another video. It is boiling in here. Absolutely boiling. The air conditioner broke 4 days ago. They still haven't gotten the parts in. We're waiting. And it's not the kind of thing where you can just go to Canadian Tire and pick up a new one. It's the size of a truck. It's very large. Anyway, so we're all suffering. Especially me, fat, hairy. I get warm. Um, Today is an exciting update. It's not actually much of an update. We're going to start Book 8, the 10th, Void Book 2. The second book of the second thematic arc in my 30-book series of sci-fi crime thrillers. Sci-fi, except that we don't have aliens. It's a Star Trek aesthetic as far as carpeting. I don't know, like the interior of the ships. Well, there's a lot more glass in my world than Star Trek had. I'm talking about the next generation, okay? Not whatever new things came out that I haven't watched. Carpeting and all the walls look the same, kind of like beigey corporate. Whatever, except we don't have any aliens. There's no nebula monsters to fight off or anything. We're just human beings that have populated space. And we're killing each other, and we have to investigate those things. So they're episodic murder mysteries. Kind of like Murder, She Wrote, except in space. It's all right. Anyway, the last 2-3 weeks have been pretty brutal for me. I couldn't keep a thought in my head. I mean, I managed to do my job, but for book-wise, this is what we're talking about. I couldn't come up with an idea at all, even after referencing all my little prompts and whatever. I couldn't come up with an idea until yesterday. That's when I finally locked in on the idea for this book. Not only that, but the other 4 books in this arc, and why it's all happening and how it ties back to the arc. I mean, they're all individual, like there's individually guilty people for each book. It's not really a Moriarty situation. But there is a little something going on over top. And I figured all of that out at once, which was interesting. I was sitting in the garage and figured that out. But the last 2 weeks were incredibly depressing for me, 2 or 3 weeks, because I couldn't come up with an idea, and it was frustrating. And like when I said before starting book 7, Void Book 1, that I stared at the walls for 2 days, that was true, except this time I feel like I stared at the walls for 2 weeks. I accomplished almost nothing creative at all. I did have a beta read that I did for someone, and that took a lot out of me. That was 4 days of work. Even though all she wanted was feedback on pacing. She writes, at least this project anyway, she was writing sci-fi, and it's completely different from the way I write. A lot more thought had to go into interpreting the language used, which is fine. It all worked out, but it took about 4 days to read that. I have another book that I have to go back to, which I'm looking forward to. But I was super excited today when I came up with, yesterday rather, when I came up with all of those ideas. Today I cemented them a little bit more, and then I drew a picture. I'll put it on the screen. There you go. It's not much of a picture. It's just a guy laying in dirt on a planetoid. Bigger than the moon, but smaller than a planet. And I don't actually know if it's a guy or a girl yet, because I do pants these things, but I have to know the setting, and I have to know the body, and I have to know how they were killed. Now, technically, I don't know how they were killed. I'm going to assume it's asphyxiation. Which is why, presumably, everything will go in one direction until we realize what's actually going on, and it'll switch to a completely different direction. And that's how murder mysteries work. So that's fun. So I do have some real, like my actual job to do this weekend, so I can't say I'll be putting in 16 hours a day. Plus, it's frigging boiling in this office and the whole house, as I said. I might just take the rest of the weekend to do some work and to read. And then we'll start fresh on Monday, I suppose, writing book 8. Book 10. Book 8, the 10th book, book 2 of the Void arc. Publishing plans? I've had 2 people directly ask me that recently. The plan is, I don't know if I've said it before. I don't think so. I don't think. The plan is to have the first 12 books done with audiobooks, covers, all edited, everything done. And then start releasing them. And then that book 0 that I'm giving away for free, that'll be thrown in after the first, let's say, 6. That'll just be thrown in as an enticement to begin the series with book 1 or whatever. I don't know. It'll still be free. Don't you worry. But the person I'm recording the audiobook with is super busy, so we haven't even discussed that yet. I'm actually still waiting to hear feedback from 2 people on book 0, so there might still be some changes to be made. So that'll be a little ways away. I did get feedback back from my dev editor on book 6, draft 2. I made a bunch of changes that she wanted me to make, and she now loves the story. There's still some tweaks to do with some other things, but she's satisfied now, and that's wonderful. I think that's great. And then she's working on book 7 next. Book 7's also been sent out to my alpha reader and my critique partner. Critique partner is very busy at the moment. She'll get to it when she gets to it. Alpha reader's also got stuff on his plate, so he'll get to it when he gets to it. Again, we're not in a rush for any of this stuff, but I do just have to keep going or I will lose steam entirely, and I don't want that to happen. I'd like to stick with this. I'd like to see it through. I'd like for you guys to have the satisfaction of actually being able to pick up something that I've published. Could you be like, well, this sucks, but he did it. And that's the exciting part, I'm sure I won't be for everyone. That is it. Short and sweet. We're not doing anything funny. I'm too hot to be funny. So, I'm way too hot to be funny. You can be one or the other. You can't be both. Right? See ya next week, week after, whatever. Love you lots. Bye.